Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S5 and see how this particular phone holds up in 2025. Now, for a lot of people out there, I probably wouldn't really recommend buying a phone like this if I'm being honest, but it's still fun to kind of look at this type of device and kind of see what an older phone kind of looks like now. Now, this phone is 11 years old. It came out back in 2014, and I remember when this phone first came out because it was like a very, very good type of phone when it originally came out. Now, on the front side of this particular device, you're getting a 5.1-inch Super AMOLED display. So it isn't like the best type of panel of all time. It is going to be a little bit of an older styling as some of you may have, expected. But, at that time, it was a really good type of display. You're getting a fingerprint sensor on the front. You're getting pretty big bezels all throughout. I always thought the Galaxy S4 looked better and nicer, but this phone also doesn't really look too terrible for the age of this particular device. Now, you are also getting a micro USB port at the bottom. You are getting a headphone jack, SD card tray inside of this thing, removable back, and a removable battery. Those things are like unheard of nowadays, but back then that was kind of the norm for Samsung, and it wasn't until, the phone after this where Samsung pretty much removed all of those things. Now, on top of that, another very big aspect for these types of phones too is basically the camera. So this camera on the back was a 16 megapixel standard camera and a 2 megapixel wide angle camera on the front. And the camera quality really wasn't that bad. It was 4K at 30 on the backside, which is kind of crazy because even now on the Samsung Galaxy A17 that Samsung just made, that phone is basically giving us like a 1080p on the back. So this 11-year-old phone is giving us higher resolution of film than the current Galaxy A17, which is crazy. But I personally, really appreciated this phone even from a camera perspective. But the worst thing about this phone right now, there's two things. One is the performance and one is basically the software updates. This phone really isn't going to be getting any more software updates anymore. So that right there is going to be a very, very kind of big negative thing for this type of device. It's kind of expected. It's not like this phone was a terrible software supported phone. It got a couple of updates, but it's really not a device I'd recommend anyone to buy anymore because it is going to be a very limited type of device from that particular area. So the last thing I would want you to do is to go through and buy a device if it's already going to be outdated, and that's exactly what's going on with a device like this one. Now, on top of that, I think another important thing to keep in mind here too is that with a device like this, the performance is also going to be very limited. It's just going to be giving you a very limited type of experience, and I feel like that right there is going to be one of those types of problems you might run into. So it's just going to be a very slow phone. It doesn't have too much RAM inside of it anymore, and that right there could end up giving you probably an issue when it kind of comes down to it. Maybe it's not going to be the biggest problem anymore, but that is going to be a problem nonetheless. So overall, I think the Samsung Galaxy S5, when it first came out, it was a really good phone. And in a lot of ways, it still is like a very nice phone. But I don't really recommend anyone to buy this type of device anymore. And there's significantly better types of phones for you to go and buy, like a Samsung Galaxy S23, a Google Pixel 8, or like an iPhone 15 Pro. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.